Good morning here on Park Hornets. It's Mrs. Ambrose, and today is Friday, January 14th. The Pledge of Allegiance will be led in a separate video by Mrs. Casalino's class. I wanted to remind you we do not have school on Monday because it's Martin Luther King Jr.'s holiday. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about Martin Luther King Jr. The Martin Luther King Jr. holiday is celebrated in the United States. It honors the achievements of Martin Luther King Jr. King led the civil rights movement in the United States. He encouraged the use of nonviolence as a way to end segregation. He played a large part in the passage of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which outlawed several types of discrimination. King was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964. Martin Luther King was killed on April 4th, 1968. Almost immediately after his death, there were calls for a national holiday in his honor. Beginning in 1970, many states and cities made his birthday, January 15th, a holiday. In 1983, the federal government passed a law making the third Monday in January a day dedicated to honoring the memory of Martin Luther King Jr. The day is usually celebrated with marches and with speeches by civil rights and political leaders, and is also a day of volunteerism. So I hope you have a nice Monday off, but maybe you're going to go listen to a speech, or maybe you're going to go volunteer somewhere. But anyway, you choose to celebrate, happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I have a lot of shout outs today. From Miss Pudlow, Dakota, Alea, and Kimberly for helping me when needed. From Mr. Williams, A on the math test. Lillian Fuller, Angelo Terry, Aubrey Van Opdenbosch, A on the science test. Spencer Austin, Brooklyn Berber, Aubrey Van Opdenbosch. From Miss Smith, Gabby Berry, being kind to another student. Nayari, working hard on her multiplication skills. Caden Martin, working hard on his multiplication skills. From Mrs. Taylor, to the entire class for being wonderful to Mrs. Kuby for 2 weeks. Thank you so much. Big shout out to Mrs. Kuby for filling in for me and doing an outstanding job with the kids. You are amazing. From Miss DW's class, shout outs go to the students who rocked iReady, gaining over 30 points on their previous iReady scores. Lillian Antikowick, up 36 in iReady reading. Mackenzie Royster, up 38 in iReady reading. And India Hicks, up 32 in iReady reading. Come on, Heron Park, let's all show improvements in math. From Mrs. Mickens, a big shout out to the following students for increasing their iReady levels. Aiden Waters, Justice Ross, Mackenzie Woodward, Darius Gilbert, Paisley Younger, Tyler Kedrow, Zion Hardy, and the entire class for doing your best on the iReady reading test. Also, Gianna Reynolds for zipping another student's coat. From Mrs. Gamerick, Grayson Garrison for always participating and letting me hear his voice, Alex Woodward for doing an excellent job with his new reading group. Finally, I want to congratulate all of the first graders who worked so hard on the iReady reading assessment and raised their scores. Way to go! From Ms. Sharp, I'd like to give my whole class a shout out for being such a great helpers to the substitutes last week while I was out. From Mr. Kowicki, I would like to shout out Cherish Jones. Cherish has mastered her 2x2 multiplication. I would also like to shout out Soleil Wilford. Soleil shows self-control in all her classes. From Miss Ledesma, Rain Bomarito for making helpful choices and double-checking her writing checklist to make sure she is turning in her very best writing. Kara Ann McGee for being a great friend to others and going above and beyond when it comes to cleaning up centers. From Mrs. Mason to the whole class for doing great during indoor recess. From Mrs. Villalvang, I want to give a special shout out to the whole class. You did a phenomenal job with setting your iReady goals and for taking the test seriously. You guys took your time and put forth your best effort. I am so proud that many students met their reading target goals or have scored higher than the fall test. Keep reaching for the stars and working really hard. From Mrs. Casalino, my entire class for trying their hardest on iReady reading. from Mrs. Chaffin and Mrs. Miglio, Summer Chapman, Jeremy Lewis, Gabriel Romero, Jadem Salem, Tessa Topping, Jace Allman, and Martez Vincent for scoring 100% on their verbs quiz earlier this week. Wow! Zakila Stroman for taking her iReady reading test seriously and going up a lot of points. Peyton Watson, Landon Lee, Christopher Edmonston, and Demaria Williams for wonderful participation and great ideas in class discussions this week. And from Miss Patrick, I am very proud of how they were with a sub all week. Great job on iReady testing to Trayvon, Aiden, Riley, Jakari, Courtney, John, Liliana, Isaiah, Amir, Amari, Chloe, Madison, and Amina. Wow, that's a lot of shout out. You guys have been working really hard. When you take your math test on the iReady, please make sure you take your time and do your very best next week. Also, remember to bring water bottles every day and your devices fully charged and headphones if you have them. Also, remember COVID. We need to make sure we're keeping those masks on, social distancing, hand sanitizing, hand washing as much as possible. I hope you have a great long weekend and repeat after me. Huron Park Hornets are respectful, responsible, and ready. I fly right with Hero. Hey, have a great Friday. Bye.